Thank you. My name's Mike Afflerbach. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of the allergies. And I'm with New Bern's News Talk Station, 107.5 WNOS. We're also on 1450. We are a local radio station. We also have the ESPN radio stations here in Greenville. But I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I think this is the third summit that I've been to and spoken about. The two things I want to talk about today, one is something I talked about a little bit before, but really that you're here at the social media forum because you have ostensibly something to say, you know, and that's something you got to keep in mind. You have some information you want to get out. Maybe it's for your business, maybe it's for some nonprofit that you're working for, but there's some content that you need to deliver. And what I encourage you to do is look at you know, the traditional medias like print and radio and TV as part of, you know, an opportunity to get that message out, and think of it as a force multiplier. So what you ought to be thinking about is every time you're developing content for your website, for your social media, you ought to be thinking about ways that you can repurpose it, because you're already putting the effort into doing it once. One of the things that we work with Wendy on is she's got a podcast that she does with, you know, interviewing a lot. I'm sure many of you have been part of that. And what we do with that is Wendy then repurposes those interviews and sends them to us, and we put them on the radio. No more extra work is done, and now we have an opportunity for the message that you're interested in getting out to another audience. Maybe it's an audience that you wouldn't have had through social media, or maybe it's just in a way to reinforce what it is you're trying to say. So, you know, the same way where we work with Lee and Sabrina, you know, we're glad to find not just ways that people can listen to them on the radio, but through Facebook and through other things. You know, we're looking at developing some new programming as a local station. Since we're not stations like Beasley where we're covering all of these areas, we can concentrate just on New Bern stuff. You know, to the extent that what's going on in Goldsboro and Kinston is happening, obviously that's important, but you know, we can really focus in on the local stuff. So what I would suggest to you too is then when you have an opportunity to be on a show locally, then you can also turn that on its head. If you're on All About Craven with Angelina, or you're on with Lee and Sabrina on the show as a guest, or you're on with Wendy, now you've got that piece of content that you can then repurpose again on your social media. And now, you know, so think of ways that if you're going to go to the trouble of get your message out, figure out how many ways you can repurpose that thing and use it in many different ways, not just in the sense that, okay, we're going to post it on the different kinds of social media, but include those of us in the more traditional media, because still that's a very valid platform. So that's the first thing I wanted to kind of get across. The second thing is I've just been working with Jeremy Luray of New Bern Web Design, and we're redoing all of our websites. And I have to say, it's something that I thought, oh well, you know, we'll get to, we'll do it, you know, and it's always been very painful. And this is not painful, you know. It is turning. So what I'm suggesting to you is, if you need to redo your website or start from scratch or whatever it is, find somebody, get them to help you. There's a lot of real talent here, you know, all the way around. Get them involved. They will make your job easier, you know, and don't worry about getting it all perfect before you go live, you know, just live with it and make it better every day or week to week, you know, and I just want to really encourage you to do that, because I keep thinking about, well, when I have time for that, you know, I'll really get into it and I'll really do it, and then it'll be really, and when it's perfect, then I'll make it go live. And you know what? Years went by. So I just would really encourage you to listen and get some information from people, talk to people today, come to the networking thing afterwards. You know, really, there's a lot of talent here, and they can make your job easier all the way around. So that's basically it. Thanks.